Hello, this is Sunday Fun Day happening here in Intuitive Angel Messages, and I am medium and channeler Kristen Davies. And today, I was going to be channeling Gaia, but Jesus came to me and he wanted me to step forward and talk about surrendering and being in a space and a place of allowing. So that is what I'm going to be channeling today from Jesus. So many of you know that I am uh, not religious in nature. However, I had connected with Jesus, I think it's about 7 years ago now. And honestly, one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Um, Many feel that connection through the Bible to Jesus. I'm not one of those individuals. I feel as though I've connected directly to him, his energy, and any one of us can do that. So I highly recommend that you call him into your life and you ask him to help you with anything and everything you need because many people jokingly call him the miracle man. Obviously, we're talking about the broader perspective of Jesus, the energy of Jesus, Christ consciousness. But this energy can help you in ways that personally I never imagined for myself. So I love to um, see so many ask him to help them. And always, that's what I say, please help me in all ways. And I say, amen. So let's see here. I have Jesus here with me, and I know he would like to speak in regards to surrendering and being in a place of allowing. And I've been tested recently myself greatly in this topic, in this arena. So I know he's going to want me to talk about this and my own personal experience. And this is a teaching tool, a teaching lesson for myself and for so many. So this is another reason why he wants me to come forward and discuss this topic. And then I'm going to take your questions afterwards. And if you want to post your questions after I'm done channeling for Jesus in regards to this topic, being in a place of surrendering and allowing in life, then you can go ahead and type your questions and I'll try to get to as many of you as I can. Um, He says, thank you, Kristen. I am now ready to speak on my behalf now. Perfect. So I'm just going to relay what I'm hearing. And then when it's time for Q&A, we'll go that route. Okay, ready. Mm-hmm. So yes, the last couple of weeks have been difficult. I've had a trying time with a friend that I feel is close to me. Um, and so I am really being tested, as we all are in life, here, there, and everywhere. It's never going to be a smooth ride. And that's why our souls come here. We come here for the journey. We come here for the experience and the contrast. And these last 2 weeks have been very trying for me. And so I guess what this is me practicing being in a space of allowing, surrendering. Yeah. He's saying surrendering what? So I guess it's a matter of surrendering your expectations of others. You expect a person to be a certain way. You expect them to step forth and be the way in which you would like them to be in your life, but it doesn't always happen that way. And then you just have to practice surrender because it's not always going to be exactly the way in which you wish it to be. Um, and Jesus is saying not everyone is going to be exactly like me or like you. You know, they're going to have their own ways of doing things, whether we feel it's the right way or the wrong way. You know, we have to honor and respect that these individuals in our lives are operating on their own vibrational frequency with their own thoughts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in that, you know, you step forward and you do your best in the moment to just be in a place of allowing and surrendering. And you can buck the current for a while, but ultimately that doesn't lead you on a path down a path of healing. And so you have to determine how long are you going to buck the current for. The other wording I used to say long ago was, you know, when I was unwell with ulcerative colitis, I would like bang my head against the wall, essentially, always upset, always crying. How long is that going to go on for? So then you have to determine how long are you willing to let that go on for? You know, rowing against the current or deciding to put the oars in the boat and going with the flow. And going with the flow, once you get there, is so much more enjoyable. And then you can be in a space of allowing and allow God to come forth into your life and or any other energies that you feel guided and drawn towards, your angels, the archangels, to help you. Okay, so Jesus wishes to speak on his behalf now. He says, now that we've got the uncomfortable part out of the way, thank you. He took it easy on me. Let me tell you. He's saying many conversations have been taking place between me and Kristen over these past 2 weeks. Not always easy to walk this path or difficult paths within your life. But how you choose to walk it is entirely up to you. Those in your life who have their own vibrational frequency, they all have their own vibrational frequency, which is separate from your vibrational frequency. It's important to honor and respect where they are at in their journey, in their process. And ultimately, not everyone is going to be what you wish them to be. Some of you will continue onwards with these friendships, and some of you will not. Some of you will continue on with these close connections and close ties with friends and family members, and some of you will not. And either path is all right. Know this. Know this. And so then you must determine how long do you wish to buck the current for, as Kristen says. The choice is being in vibrational alignment or out of alignment. And yes, it does take some time as wounds heal to come back into alignment. But it is entirely up to you, dear ones, as to how long you choose to buck the current for. Okay. He says that there's a place and a time for everything, and everything that unfolds plays its part, plays its role, and there is a lesson to be learned with everything. every disagreement you ever have, every issue that you ever have in your life, experience here is a lesson to be learned from. Know this, know this. And so he says, and now I am open to taking questions. Okay, so if you have a question for JC, I call him JC. And you know, JC's been in many different bodies in many different lifetimes. And I consider him my older brother in spirit, here to help us all. So I have to say, I was the one that if you talk to me about anything religious, I was not interested, and here I am working with him. And I have to say it's one of, if not the best things that I've ever asked for and decided to do. And it took me a month to decide if I was going to. But then I stepped forward, and I'm happy I did. Yeah. It's interesting how you guys are all saying that it's a bit of a personal message for you, because not everybody is going to behave or act or be in a vibrational way in which you wish them to be. And you have to determine if that is something that you're going to how long you're going to buck the current with. Okay, so I'm going to try and take some questions here. Anybody who has a question in regards to this topic is, yeah. Oh, we're all guilty there, Elmer. We go in, we have our set, standard of how we feel our friends and or family should be, and then we go into judgmental mode. Yeah, absolutely. MJ, I'm not saying the S word. Okay. Okay, so MJ, you're feeling like people are getting pretty ugly in your life. Yeah, it's a matter of surrendering, just allowing them to operate in the way in which they choose to operate. Let's see what JC says. No, he's he's like, no, you said it. So that is something that you practice, isn't it? It's not something that just comes. You have to practice your own vibrational frequency. You have to practice being in alignment in amidst everyone else in your life. And even you live in a close quarters with people, that makes it even trickier, doesn't it? But as long as you got your eye on the prize and you're constantly practicing, it gets easier and easier, I find. And I don't tend to get rocked too often. So these past 2 weeks for me have been a real test for me. Yeah. There's only been one other time in my life where I've been rocked like this. Okay, so as long as it's a question pertaining to this topic, I'm going to take it. So what should Des surrender to in his life right now? What is best to surrender to? Jesus is really just coming through with such love and pride for you, Des. Now I'm going to listen to what he's saying. He says he's really proud of you. I'm really proud of you. Dear one, I am proud of you. You stepped forward seeking answers, seeking more within your life experience. And now the answers are coming in wonderful and beautiful ways. He's saying there are going to be many people in this experience on the planet who will be seeking answers as well, who will begin awakening as well, and they will be seeking you out. And the angels, the archangels, and myself will be guiding them to you. There is a great path ahead of you, dear one. This you already know. He's saying that you're shifting from the old way of being into the new way of being, which is much lighter and much more fluid, much more enjoyable, is it not? He says the ego plays a role. It is needed in this experience. However, please do not allow your ego, as Kristen says, to drive up in the front of the car in the passenger seat right next to you. Simply ask your ego to sit in the back seat of the vehicle. As you move forward, many doors will open for you, and there is much more yet to come. Amen. So I'm just going to take questions that are pertaining to this today. Can a person self-heal? Claudia is asking. Can a person self-heal? Jesus is just giving a big yes on that one. However, there are many beings of light and love here to help you self-heal. And he greatly suggests that you call upon them to help further you along on your self-healing path. He says that you're doing a really great job, Claudia. He says he's really proud of you. He knows it's been difficult, but he says that's why your soul chose to come here, in order to learn and grow. He's saying the same thing that I hear the angels say often, which is not many souls want to sign up to come to Earth. Why? Because of the dense lower vibrational frequency here, because of the challenges in this three-dimensional reality. However, this is now shifting and changing and rising in vibrational frequency here upon the earth plane. Some of you will choose to stay, and some of you will choose to leave early. Some of you will choose to stay and help the others ascend, awaken, and then ascend. So many of the questions here are, how does a person surrender? How do you surrender? How do you do it? He's not going to give that answer. He wants me to show you the ropes. Isn't that something? And here we go. I'm getting schooled now. All right. So how is it that one goes and be in a place of surrender? I have to really play that out in my head here. A lot of deep breaths, a lot of hot baths, a lot of meditation, a lot of sleep, a lot of high vibrational TV shows, and a lot of high vibrational content, books, videos. High vibrational people in your life definitely helps. Walks out in nature, going down to the beach and grounding, going outside, leaning on a tree, sitting up against a tree. The tree will help you ground and remove and release a lot of this low vibrational energy. And the earth will do the same. You can mentally ask her to help ground you and help you to surrender, help you to release that which is no longer needed. It's really a mind thing, right? When you're in a place where you're not surrendering, you are judging, you have expectations of others, and you are relentless in holding on to that. And then you have to determine that how far is that going to get you? Because they are their own person and they have their own vibrational frequency, and I have mine. And the only thing that I have control of in life is my own vibrational frequency. The only thing I have control over is my own thoughts. And I don't even like saying the word control, but I would say be acutely aware of your thoughts and your own vibrational frequency. And that will lead you down a path of a place of allowing and surrendering. Exactly. Surrender without judgment. Try your best repeatedly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know, it's interesting because I know there's no linear time. They tell me this all the time. There is only all the time. There is only this present moment. But they know that I understand the message when they relay it to me. And I mean, my team of angels, when they say to me, time heals all wounds. So although we know that there is only this present moment, we know that in quote unquote linear time, wink, wink, that these wounds will heal. You will have that distance between the freshness of it to now when it's a little bit more distance. And thank goodness for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, a lot of people are just having a lot of ascension symptoms and they're just feeling off. This past week was a massive wave of energy, which was stirring the pot in a lot of us. And you guys know what's coming up mid-August. If I have any advice, it is to ground and ground often. Ground yourselves like you've never grounded before. Okay. I apologize if I pronounce your name incorrectly there, Dacia Barker. Um, what does she need to surrender to? Hmm. I have your guardian angel coming up behind me. It's like what she's saying is the expectations of others on you. So what others are expecting of you, and the opinions of others of you as well. Others' opinions of you. She's like, she did this. Allow them to be as they choose, and you will walk your path, and they will walk their path, and they will learn to accept you for who you are, what you are, or not, and that is of their own choosing, in their own vibrational frequency. That's good. You know, we're going to have so many people guided to us. There'll be people coming from all angles. So, you know, in the light working community, it's really important to ground yourselves and get ready for some massive growth because it's coming. And I've been told this now for 6 months at least. The angels have relayed this during readings at least 100 times, at least. Okay, so Belinda says she surrenders all the time, but she feels like there's something missing. Is Rose here, your guardian angel? The only thing that's missing is courage, the courage to step forward on your own 2 feet. That's the only thing that's missing. Yeah. You know, ascension is not easy, but thank goodness it's happening because things will get easier. That's what they tell me. And it's like we knew our entire lives that there was going to be something coming. We knew that there was going to be something more in this lifetime, and it's finally here. In their eyes, from what I've heard many times, is that this month of August, in the middle of August, this is when this massive wave comes, and this is when it anchors a lot of light here. And a lot of people are going to start awakening. And so this is it. This is it moving forward. Up until this point, it wasn't even the beginning. Now we're moving in on the beginning path of this. How exciting is that? So, Christina, let's talk about being in a place of allowing with your siblings. Do you find it difficult to speak with them? I'm hearing allow them to be as they choose. Hmm. They're questioning, do you need to speak with them? Do you really feel as though you need to speak with them about everything? The past is the past. The future has not occurred yet. And so, in truth, all there really truly is this present moment. And where you place your attention, your thoughts, and your focus is where you will resonate, where your vibrational frequency will be. So, this is our question to you. Do you really need to speak with them about these past events? Amy, I hear you on that one. I can relate with that. Um, so how do you handle this difficult, relationship with your sister? Allow her to be as she chooses. And they're kind of chuckling and saying, yes, that will be the answer for many of your questions. However, that is the way, that is the path, that is the answer. And then over time, I find that you just realize that this is the path in which you're meant to be on, with or without them. And maybe you spend a little less time with them or no time with them at all. But all of this is okay. It's okay. And you'll have other friendships and other family type bonds develop within your life. And they'll be very nurturing and loving and supportive of you and your vibrational frequency and the path in which you are on. And that is a beautiful thing. And that is, that is something in which you don't need blood, DNA match for. Family and those close ties and bonds and connections are, even my connection with Jesus, we don't need to even be in a body. Yeah. Yeah, meditation and grounding is a wonderful way to let go. Wonderful way. Kelly, you little rascal. What do you do when you don't give in to others and they start treating you different in a mean way? Jesus says, hold your own vibrational frequency. Okay, so in life, he's going to use this as an example. So others in your life are behaving however they're behaving. We'll call it the storm. We'll call it chaos. We'll call it maybe verbal abuse, or he's saying verbal diarrhea, whatever you want to call it, whatever. And he's saying that it's important that you are calm in the eye of the storm. By way of these suggestions in which Kristen had provided previously earlier. And then you just allow them to be as they choose. They are operating on their own vibrational frequency and you are operating on yours. However, there are certain guidelines, certain guidelines certain boundaries in which one should hold. And that too is important. So you're not going to be just like, I'm calm over, I'm just going to basically say what he's saying in my own words. I'm calm over here. I'm in the eye of the storm, and that person is total chaos and, you know, coming at me in a verbal way. And I'm just going to be sitting here allowing of this to transpire because I'm going to be calm. Mm-mm. No, no. Where would you like to say past that point? He says, using calm words, being calm and assertive is important. So there's 3 ways of being in life. You've heard me talk about this before. He's talking about it now. That's why I'm talking about it. You can be passive aggressive. You can be aggressive, or you can be assertive. And he is suggesting that you step forward in life and be calm and assertive, watching and being aware of your own vibrational frequency in the moment, the pitch and tone of your voice, making sure you don't raise it, and being acutely aware of the words in which you form and speak when in that moment with that person. Yeah. And he says, and some of us get tested and rocked. And in the moment, we have a lot of heat and anger. In that moment, when you're feeling that anger come on, he says it's best to step aside for a time, count to 10, deep breaths, decompress before you say something and before you take certain decisions and actions in which you may regret. Oof, you're just laying it out there today, aren't you? He says, are there any decisions and choices in which you regret, Kristen? Yeah, there's a couple. And he says, or will you be making amends with those? And I'm saying, yes, I will. Because that's what's important. This is me speaking now. If you take action and words in a heated moment with anger and you know that you need to cool down, and once you've cooled down and healed a bit, then you can step forward and you can have a calm and assertive conversation with the person and make your apologies and mean it. Yeah, and that's what I intend on doing. Okay, so I hope that helped you. Just gonna move the scroll down. Wow, there's a lot of questions here. I know there's a lot of questions. Yeah, Deborah, I agree. Sometimes you have to just hang up the phone. You just need to stop texting, stop leaving voice notes, and you need to walk because anything that comes out of your mouth is not going to be pleasant at that time, and you're no longer operating with you're not connected with the divine and you're not operating from a calm assertive point. So you just need to walk, and if it's a day or two, and you can let the person know, I'm just decompressing right now, but we will get to talking again. That's a much better approach. But like I say, I've only had 2 times in my life where I've been this upset. Lots of lessons being learned right now. Yeah, yeah. I call it getting rocked. Um, okay. Oof, there's a good question. What do you do, Jesus, when people start to threaten to bring out your past mistakes publicly. Oh boy. Jesus tells me a little bit about my future ahead, and there will be times, for all of us, where people will come out and try to rock you, um, and you just have to be in a space of allowing, and that's why it's important to practice now. So what do you do when that's the case? Okay. Okay. He says your own vibrational frequency and your own opinions and your thoughts of yourself have to be built up to such a degree where others' opinions of you are none of your business. Your own self-love, self-care, and self-respect of yourself has to be the dominant vibrational frequency within this world. Because many of you judge each other on a daily basis based on the color of your skin, the size of certain body parts, ethnicity, where you're from, and so many others, and so many other things that we judge each other on all the time. So when you walk this earth, make it your sole mission in this lifetime to operate on your own vibrational frequency, holding steady, and allow each person to be as they choose. And remember that you can call upon me and your divine team of angels, the ascended masters, the archangels, and we will come and we will move mountains for you. Sorry, it's a lot of love coming through because that's how much they love us. So they will move mountains for us. They can make things happen in our lives that we can't imagine. So it's really important to call on them. He says, we will move mountains for you. Simply call upon us. We can make things shift and change in your favor, in a high vibrational direction. Okay. Wow, Kim, a lot of upheaval lately, eh? So your best friend of 35 years isn't speaking to you? Okay, yeah, you accept that you're on different paths. You miss her. Yeah, it's been a lifetime of a friendship with this person. This isn't just a person, this is like your sister. Um, oh, wow. Wow. Jesus wants to talk about as we each evolve and grow energetically, vibrationally, emotionally, that those in our lives may fall away. And he is aware that this can be very difficult. So please call on him to help you with this. Please call on him to help you. Oh, yes. Many times he's saying something in which I have always said to myself, in the moment you think it's the worst thing in the world, You think, oh my God, I can't believe all these people are like walking out of my life, or I am walking from them, and or they're just falling away. And you think, oh my God. But then you make it about 2 months, maybe 6 months, maybe a year down the road, and then you see that, oh, you see the bigger picture, the broader perspective, and you see that that was actually for the best. It actually is in your highest and best good to see it at that time, like, oh, you understand. But in that moment when it's first happening, it's very difficult. You can't see that broader perspective. So he just wants to remind you of this. What is right now will be vastly different months or years down the road. And when one door closes, another one opens, or a window opens, or whatever you want to call that. So when one path closes with a person, then you'll have another person come into your life, or another path you'll take, and other people come into your life. And that's what's happened with me, and it's been wonderful. Yeah. So I'll just take a couple more questions. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Jesus would like to say something here. I am aware that this path is not always easy to walk here on earth. Many of you react to how others have treated you, or responded to you, or spoken to you. But instead of reacting to those within your close-knit community of friends and family, choose instead to go within, because this is where the answers lie, within you. Being acutely aware of your own vibrational frequency, the thoughts in which you house within your mind, and how long you choose to hold on to and maintain lower vibrational thoughts and emotions within, and how long you choose to house them and emit them, because the thoughts and emotions in which you choose emit out like a frequency, a beacon. And we can see this when observing each of you. So there are only two choices in life. Point the finger at others, judge, deflect, even crucify others for being wrong, or cool down, step away for days on end if need be, before taking decisions, choices, or actions with your words and actions that may greatly hinder. He says he prefers that we take the path of least resistance and step away and go when we're ready, and when we decompress, then start doing self-reflection and going within. Not everyone is going to be what you wish them to be. And not everyone is going to behave the way in which you wish them to behave. Or their choices, decisions, and actions will not be a match with what you would choose and decide. Mm-hmm. All right. So he's just saying thank you, and he's sending you all his love. He reminds you that he is an omnipresent being of light and love, and that he is able and capable of coming to each one of you. There are no time and space constraints for him and his team of angels to come and walk this journey by your side. For you are not alone. You are never alone. Amen. Love all of you guys. Love you. Have a wonderful Sunday.